Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go. Out of the gate on this Thursday, and this is a North Texas Weather Alert Day. Of course, the last several days we've been dealing with severe weather here in North Texas with very large hail, and I can tell you really today no different, but there is a bit of a twist to the forecast. We also have an El Nino driven storm system that is also going to be inbound, and even though the coverage of storms, meaning who sees storms, 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 storms, it'll be limited, but if you do have thunderstorm activity in your area, the opportunity of higher end severe weather is in the forecast today. So I want to be very clear about that. I want to break down the storm timeline, show you what to expect as we go through the day. And then also on the flip side of things, we're also talking about some really hot temperatures. In fact, my daytime high is 97. That right there is bad enough, but you got to factor in all the humidity. You can see the haze there in the live cam. That's thick tropical humidity, and that's going to put your feels like number up around 108. That is well into the danger category. Heat advisories are now being issued, and that will be your forecast into the weekend. We're going to talk about that piece of the forecast coming up as well. Also notice those storm probabilities increasing here in the Metroplex the deeper we get into the afternoon. But let's go and start with the heat. This is also right in front of us here too, kind of being put in our face, so to speak. These are the heat advisories. Now, these have just been issued really as of yesterday. It does include Dallas and Tarrant County. Anywhere in the orange, your heat index number, what it feels like to your body, could be pushing 105. In most cases, it will be over, well over in some cases, 105. Again, just our trend here locally in the Metroplex, 108. 107, 106. I mean, you get the point. Even heading into the weekend, again, with all the humidity around, with air temperatures pushing up towards 100, this will be a fairly dangerous stretch of heat, a heat wave, if you will, developing as we go forward in time. Here's a look at some of that rich, thick tropical humidity. I've also loaded the dew point numbers. I've just kind of loaded all of them on here and look down along the coast. I mean, we've got dew point numbers near and above 80. Even here locally in North Texas, we have dew point numbers, pushing the mid 70s, right? So even on the upper end of what we see here normally is there, right? So again, you've just got to factor that in with the heat. And like I mentioned, this is just going to be a developing heat wave that we're going to have to deal with maybe for the next week, maybe 2. The temperatures are going to stay hot, but we're going to have to begin to mix out some of that moisture. It will eventually happen, but it's just not going to happen very soon. Otherwise, the red and blue line, that's that boundary. We've been talking about this all week. It's helped to develop thunderstorms each and every day with that very large hail threat that we've been dealing with. Of course, we've also been talking about the subtropical jet stream flow coming up and over. That's kind of been the kicker or the key to get activity to go each and every day. But again, today's a little bit different. As we look out here to the west, you can see a dip coming in, and this is currently across parts of New Mexico. We still have those 2 pieces of the weather puzzle, but now we've also got a third, and this is an El Nino driven upper level storm system that will come out and over the Great Plains as we go through the day. And again, the opportunity, along with all the heat and all the humidity, there is a powder keg developing across parts of the southern plains. Now up in Oklahoma, you may have saw it there. There was a hatch black zone. That's a moderate risk. That moderate risk comes all the way down to the Red River Valley. That goes off the number of storms, right? They're anticipating numerous storms, a complex or an outbreak up in Oklahoma. Where here in North Texas, we're probably only going to have a few storms, 1 or 2, 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6. But again, even with that limited number of storms, any storm that forms tonight, I just want to be real clear about this, could be on the higher end of severe. We're talking about hailstones up to the size of baseballs. I'm talking about wind up to 70 miles per hour. And from here, it does appear as though there is at least a limited tornado threat. Tornado warnings, a tornado warning or 2 cannot be ruled out as we go through the day from the Storm Prediction Center. That would be their tornado outline for the day today. Here's the model. Let me go and run you through this. After 3 to 4 p.m. this afternoon, there it is. Right now, the model developing 1 supercell initially. That would be a large hail threat, damaging wind threat, limited tornado threat, and then it goes on to develop 1 more. So again, regardless, if it's 1 storm, if it's 2 storms, if it's 5 storms, any of those, again, could be quite severe. Then notice by this evening, a complex of storms comes out of Oklahoma. We'll be watching that in our northeastern counties. Could be some severe weather, obviously, with that as well. So multifaceted now as we go through the day. Up around the mid to upper 90s for daytime highs, quite hot. Again, heat index values pushing over 100. There's that rain and storm opportunity. We're tracking all of this. We will have much more coming up.